Hey guys and gals, VERÁO here. As some of you might be aware, Monstercat was recently bought out by big music company Create Music Group, marking the end of its run as an independent label. This is after a sort of decline in popularity of the brand over the years, as well as a recent string of acquisitions by CMG. But how did we get here? It seems as if Monstercat was everywhere on the EDM scene, especially on YouTube in the early to mid 2010s. Well, in this video, I will show you my reasons as to why I think that Monstercat has been declining over the years and eventually had to sell its soul to CMG. First off, generally everyone uses streaming services to get their music now, rarely ever using alternative forms or websites like YouTube, instead opting for services like Spotify or Apple Music. Or if you're like me, use YouTube Music. But nonetheless, not as many people use YouTube playlists or mixes to find new music anymore, which diminishes the value of the YouTube videos posted to the Monstercat channel, which is the biggest part of their brand, unfortunately. Nonetheless, some of their songs still have gone viral on streaming, and some even didn't really go viral on YouTube but went viral on Spotify. So it does seem like some of the songs can perform well without the branding that is over-reliant on YouTube, but still not a good thing. Secondly, we shall discuss the over-focus on already successful artists instead of new and upcoming artists. This kind of contrasts their branding as kind of an underground niche label that puts artists first and puts out music from underground, bedroom EDM producers. Now yes, part of the reason so many of these mainstream artists like Alan Walker, XAsian, hell even Shaq,
times when you pull your jockstrap up tight and you man up and you play.
And a lot of Never Say Die records and Recycle Recordings migrants, which I will talk a little bit about later, all came to the label was that artist first focus. However, it doesn't help with the underground branding that Monstercat goes for. Monstercat is meant to be a brand that helps you find new music that's off the mainstream, and I think the more and more mainstream artists that they keep signing off on, the more and more they just feel like a stale corporate entity. Next, I want to talk about the great brand split of 2017 or 2018, whatever you want to mark it. So around that time, Monstercat released a diversity of EDM, which ranges from screechy, heavy hand bagger, dubstep, or trap, to pop music or chill out music, or direct parallax. Now yes, this is kind of necessary at the time, because it would be easier for people to find the music they like. But that also separated the fan base into two channels. The calmer, more melodic and pop-based fan base would listen to Instinct and not really pay much attention to Uncaged, and vice versa, with some fans still paying attention to both. However, this resulted in most of their songs getting less attention despite more releases and a more organized catalog on YouTube. This effect is also seen in what I will be talking about next. I'm eating some peanuts right now. Pretty good, huh? Silk Music was bought out by Monstercat in early 2021 and subsequently rebranded into Monstercat Silk. This label was known for releasing calm, progressive house, and other chill EDM genres, which kind of contrasted with the general energetic mood of the releases at the time. This resulted in a significant portion of the fan base ignoring the brand and still sticking with just Uncaged and Instinct, although there was still a boost in views from the rebranding on the Silk Music channel. This acquisition caused Monstercat to have to divert more resources to a brand that is less popular than Uncaged and Instinct, which in turn caused there to be less of an investment into Uncaged and Instinct, their two bigger brands. It also took some music that would have been released on Instinct, which, considering the current upload schedule, it makes it seem that they just paid a ton of money to split Instinct and get more songs for their back catalog. Speaking of the schedule, Monstercat has recently been putting a ton of their cards into Uncade, with a lot of the recent releases being dominated by aggressive, screechy, wub heavy hand bagger EDM over the poppy tracks of Instinct and calm tracks of Silk. This pissed off a lot of the melodic EDM fans and the chill EDM fans who now have to see their favorite kind of music be released half the amount of times on the label in favor of one more track of the complete opposite. Now yes, this did benefit the heavy music enjoyers slightly, but ultimately I think that this was trimming down releases that didn't need to be trimmed down in order to add a extra song to an already kind of bloated brand at this point. Now yes, I wouldn't be hating on this that much. I mean, back in the earlier part of the decade, I used to listen to a lot of Disciple, a lot of Never Say Die, and I still do. But what they do with this is they sign right 10 to a whole cast and just in general signing mostly generic mainstream Britain and whatnot. Now yes, Uncade has had its fair share of good releases, and yes, some of the mainstream artists have released somewhat decent material on the label, but it contributed to alienate a significant portion of their fan base. Finally, let's talk about how Monstercat stopped condensing their releases into compilations so their listeners can easily find some of the most recent music from the label in a playlist or listen to it in a mix. Now yes, it may sound like I'm a little biased here, but yeah, they weren't as popular as before once they got discontinued. But the compilations and mixes have been a very integral part of the Monstercat brand, kind of bringing all the songs together and with the older story through the covers of the initial compilation series to the album mixes that would be posted on YouTube. So in conclusion, Monstercat declined for a variety of there's one more thing I need to add. So no copyright sounds is basically Monstercat's direct competitor by default, and as of recent they have been able to regularly get their songs to over 100k views on YouTube, unlike Monstercat, and with their channel being somewhat on the decline over the years like Monstercat. Now, as it comes to no surprise, NCS runs no content ID for their music, hence named No Copyright Sounds. Unlike Monstercat, which you have to pay a slight fee to use. This has opened up a gateway for NCS to be used in basically every YouTube video and almost every gaming mix compilation that is on YouTube, which kind of streamlines a lot of views to NCS songs, and ultimately it just brings more traffic to NCS. This, I think, is the primary reason why NCS is more popular on YouTube and pulls more numbers related to their brand than Monstercat, aside from the recent NCS X Geometry Dash partnership to, kind of rival the Rocket League X Monstercat partnership, which, do give credit, Monstercat has really ingrained themselves and combined themselves with Rocket League's culture as being the official background music of the game. But yeah, anyways, let's finish the video. So in conclusion, Monstercat declined for a variety of reasons, which resulted in the acquisition of them from CMG. Maybe CMG can turn around the brand, or maybe they run it into the ground. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and make sure to check out my other videos if you also enjoyed this video. Anyways, goodbye.